Are you wondering? I think we're all curious about this and wanting to discover what some of our talents are. Or, if you are wondering that, then this video is for you. Hi beautiful souls, it's Tan back here today with you on this Astrology Human Design Jinkies channel. And today I wanted to talk a little bit about the top 3 signs of a talented person, or the top 3 signs where you can find your talent in your natal chart, because there's been a lot of questions about this one. Before we get started, don't forget to head over to my website to meet your team of astrologers there who will be doing birth chart readings for you guys, and they will also be here on the channel. And they've already been here on the channel. We filmed a video together last week on a moon in the 12th house. So yes, meet your team there, get to know who they are, because they'll be around a lot. We love working together. It's been very fun so far. And we also have now a new page on our website, which is an articles page, where one of our astrologers there is writing articles for the website. We have now a series of articles going up with regards to moon through the houses, so check that out as well. And if you haven't yet headed over to my art YouTube channel, also head over there and see if you like some of the videos I put up with regards to my art, and hit the like buttons on any of them and subscribe there if you like what you see. I don't know if you can hear that, but that is my dishwasher groaning there. So yes, beautiful souls. So this is a very interesting but also difficult video to make, because talent is something that I feel everybody has, right? I mean, talent is an innate, inborn gift that you have been given in this incarnation. Everybody has a talent, or some kind of talent there. So, if you want to know what your actual talents are, you obviously can't really find that from like a YouTube video, because it's going to be specific to your own natal chart. So getting a reading would then be the best way to find that out. But this video, I just wanted to come here and tell you guys how you can find what your inborn gifts are coming into this world. But at the same time, beautiful souls, talent is nothing without practice and hard work and flowing with it and embracing it and making it your passion. So I also want to add that in this video, like the things that you can see in your chart that can show you like where you are willing, or what area of your life, how you can see the part of you that you naturally can practice something and kind of be good at with regards to developing your talents, if that kind of made sense. All right, so the first and most talented sign, archetype, and planet, and house, we could even say, in astrology, is the sign of Libra. And I cannot tell you how many Libras we know, celebrities and things like that, and I know in my life, who are very talented. These are like inborn talent that these Librans have. So if you have planets or your angles inside of Libra, good for you. You've got some really, really strong inborn talent there. But if you don't, look to Venus in your natal chart. We all have Venus, right? So we all have Venus in some sign, in some house, making some kind of aspect in our natal chart. And the reason why Venus is a part of your inborn talents is because it's that place in your natal chart that first of all tells you about your self-esteem. And self-esteem is something that everybody can access when they are doing something that they love. Like if you're doing something you love in your life, that is automatically going to increase your sense of self-esteem. And Venus is also that planet that has to do with pleasures, things that make you feel good to do. So if you think about like being a child, right? And when you're a child, you just want to do what you love. You just want to get in touch with some of your pleasures. You just want to enjoy what you're doing without having to think about if it's going to make money or not. That is when you're accessing your inborn talents. So look to that, like which house is your Venus placed in will show you which house is a talented house for you. and the aspects that it's making to other planets will kind of color the flavor of that Venus house. And the sign's going to tell you how the style, your talented style of expressing that Venus. The house that you want to look to with regards to this particular sign or archetype is the 7th house. And you're thinking, well, the 7th house rules like relationships and marriage and contracts and commitments. Why is it a house of talent? That's because the 7th house also rules your shadow self. It's the house where we look at, where we want to do shadow work. And shadow work, when you're doing shadow work, you are digging up a part of you that you've repressed since you were young. Maybe because your society or your family or parents told you that it was not good to be doing this thing because it's not acceptable. And so you kind of put that in your subconscious, you put away, and relationships are there to reveal this suppressed part of you. So look to the 7th house, like what's going on there, what's sitting there, and that's going to show you what your talents are, what sign rules that house. It's going to tell you what some of your talents might be. So that's the first sign. Now the second sign, zodiac sign, archetypes, that governs somebody who is going to be able to develop that talent into something skillful. They're going to be able to apply skill to talent and sort of master that and turn that into something in their life, is the sign of Gemini. So Gemini is talented, but it's more focused on the skills of things, right? So you want to think about Gemini, the 3rd house, and Mercury. So if you have some planets or some of your angles in Gemini, good for you. You got some talents there. You got an ability to develop those talents. If not, you want to look to Mercury. And the reason being that this archetype that we're talking about, this is something that you are able to, first of all, pick up real quickly, right? Gemini is about gathering data and information and learning from your environment. So whatever you're picking up, you're learning it really quickly. So if you kind of learn some skills that's associated with a talent, that Gemini archetype is going to make you, excel at developing your talents and turning that and adding skill to that, right? The 3rd house, not only does it rule communication and the ability to be able to pick up and learn things really quickly, but it's also the house that has to do with your everyday errands. Not the routines of the 6th house, not the rituals of the 6th house, but errands. So it's a very busy house, meaning that this is the house that's going to tell you that you're willing to put in and get very busy developing, working on, and doing the things that will add to the development of your talents. And Mercury is a similar energy. So I hope that kind of made sense as to why we would be looking at this particular sign archetype. Now the 3rd sign and archetype that is considered the sign and archetype of talent is the sign of Leo, the sun, and the 5th house. So Leo, the sun, and the 5th house is associated with the child within, the inner child. So again, we come back to what did you enjoy doing when you were a child? When you're accessing your sense of pleasure with Venus and Libra energy, the heart space, that the joy of I just love to do this thing. It's just fun to do. I don't care about the money. It's my hobby. That is something that you're going to have some amount of talent in. And the sun in general, if you really look at the degrees of your sun and you go into the human design gates of your sun and the gene key of your sun, that's going to show you a very, very natural place of being able to shine in the world. Now, it may not be so natural if your sun's in the 12th house and making some kind of aspect to Neptune or Pluto. That's going to make it harder, but still, once you do work with some of those harder aspects or those harder houses, this is a place where you can shine like nobody else in the world. You were born to shine this very specific, particular way. So look to the sun. Look to Planets in the 5th house, do you have that going for you? And what's your Leo placements in your chart? And last but not least, I do have to add a 4th one, just to kind of let you guys know what else you can be looking for to see where some of the talents might lie in your natal chart. I want to bring out some, I want to emphasize a little bit on aspects. And all aspects in the natal chart, right, is going to show you some amount of your ability to uniquely exercise some of your talents, especially the hard aspects, like the squares and the oppositions. Like working with what planets are making squares and oppositions is going to tell you where some of your talents lie and where you're willing to work hard to apply the skills to your talents. Now, easier aspects, like in this case, I would look at a conjunction to be more natural in this case, but conjunctions are hard aspects. But in this case, they are more of like natural for you. So conjunctions and trines and sextiles, they can flow more naturally in terms of talents. But the squares and the oppositions, they may be skills that you're building in your life. So therefore, when you have configurations in your natal chart that combines harder aspects like squares and oppositions with easier aspects like trines and sextiles, there are some configurations in astrology that do that. That's going to show an area where like your talents are meeting up with your skills, and it's beautiful. So some of these configurations are going to be something like a mystic rectangle where you have 2 sextiles, 2 trines, 2 oppositions. You have a mystic rectangle there. Beautiful talent because you have the talent, beautiful talent because you have the talent. The easy ones, something that you're born with, you can develop easily, but you also have that push to develop skills, right? A kite in your natal chart. So kites has got 2 sextiles, 3 trines, so it's a grand trine with 2 sextiles and an opposition. Beautiful, because you have the hard oppositions is coming in to give you energy to work with something. So if you have like a grand trine alone in your natal chart, that's a talent, but whether you're going to develop the talent or not, we can't see just with that alone. But then if that grand trine comes into a kite with that opposition, we have the ability to work hard with it. T-squares and grand crosses are also going to tell us about somebody who's going to be very active in developing particular skills. So it depends on what planets and what signs are involved here, right? If like Venus or Mercury or the Sun is involved, then that's the natural talent. If like Libra and Gemini and Leo's involved, there's a natural talent that it's coming to a T-square. You're putting the effort to develop on that particular natural talent. I apologize for the construction noise. Beautiful souls, if you can hear that. So yes, and last but not least, of course, I'm going to bring in human design, the gene keys, to let you guys know which particular gene key and human design gates or channels are associated with a talented individual. So there is a particular channel in the human design body graph that is called the channel of talent. It's also sometimes called the channel of, I think it's the wavelength. That channel is a channel that's connected the throat to the spleen through gates 16 and 48, the channel of talent. The 16th gate is Gemini. The 48th gate is Libra. So when Libra and Gemini meet, and like you can see how these two are the skills and the talent, that is when we have a talented individual. So you don't have to have this channel in human design, obviously, to be talented. Like, I don't think it works that way, right? Because I just mentioned a couple of various factors you can look at to see if you're talented or not. But if you do have this channel in human design or one of those hanging gates, there is going to be more of this energy in your life to work with your talents and skills. So you don't have those gates or those channels. It's kind of like you're focused on other things in your life, right? You're not focused on that development of yourself and kind of sharing that with the world. But if you have that channel or one of those gates that's hanging there, then there's a focus for you to develop those skills and those talents. Or you can have some of those you can have some of those gates on an angle, meaning that let's say you are a Gemini midheaven and your Gemini midheaven falls into particular degrees that makes it land in gate 16. Or you have a Libra ascendant, and the degrees of your Libra ascendant makes it falls into gate 48. So it can be at an angle as well, and that doesn't appear yet in Human Design Gene Keys, but you can look for that there. So yeah, I hope that's kind of making sense, and I hope it was a useful video for you guys. So comment below, do you have any of the things I mentioned, and what do you have, and what are some of the things that you feel are natural talents for you, and how are you developing on your natural talents by accumulating the right skills for it. And yes, that's it for today. Don't forget to head over to our website and check out some of the services that we have offered for you guys there, and read some of the articles that we have up there. And yeah, have a beautiful day, the beautiful souls. I'll see you soon. Bye.